Hey guys, what's going on? This is Indy. In this video, I'm going to cover the stat priority, talents, and glyphs for Affliction Locks in the first season of Warlords of Draenor. Let's jump on into it. There's a lot of different ways that you can gear your Warlock. Some people feel that Mastery is better, some people feel that Haste is better, but I feel that when you're in low-level gear, in honor bought gear mostly, the Mastery stat is probably one of the best to go for. However, as the gear progresses and you get epic gear and you upgrade, I would probably say that Haste is better than Mastery. So the stat priority will probably look something like this. Haste over Mastery, over Versatility, over Multi-Strike, over Crit. Now let's go over the talents. The first talent tier is pretty much static. You're always going to want to take Dark Regeneration because this pairs amazingly with your Health Stone, and it's really one of your best defensive cooldowns. The second talent tier is more optional and based on what comp you're running. If you're playing with a warrior who has Shockwave, don't take Shadow Fury. I would take something like Mortal Coil or, depending on the enemy team, Howl of Terror in that case. If you're playing with, another caster or something that doesn't have many stuns, I usually run with Shadow Fury most of the time. For the level 45 talent tier, it really pairs up with the level 75 talent tier. So there's really two options here. If you're fighting a lot of, dot cleaves and spell cleaves, I would take Dark Bargain and pair it with Grimoire of Sacrifice. However, if you're fighting anything with a melee, or especially a melee cleave, I would go with Soul Link and Supremacy. For the level 60 tier, it really depends on who you're up against. If there are melee on the enemy team, I would highly recommend taking Blood Horror because it's an awesome peel as soon as they hit you. Any other time, I would highly recommend taking Unbound Will because it's essentially just a second trinket. Just make sure that they're not training you if you pop it because it deals 20% of your health as damage. We already covered the level 75 talents. If you take Grimoire of Supremacy, you have to pair it with Soul Link, and if you take Grimoire of Sacrifice, you pair it with Dark Bargain. As for the level 90 tier, you pretty much always want to stick with Archimonde's Darkness because it gives your Dark Soul 2 charges, and Dark Soul is your major offensive cooldown as a Warlock. It increases your haste by 30% for 20 seconds. At level 100, unfortunately Warlocks don't have much of a choice at this level either. You're pretty much always going to want to take Soulburn Haunt because it increases dot damage and it stacks with the original Haunt debuff. Now let's go over the glyphs. The glyphs I use on my lock, I don't really like to change them too often. I run with the Glyph of Unstable Affliction because it reduces the cast time and you can get your dots out a lot faster. Glyph of Unending Resolve basically just gives you 20% Bark Skin and Aura Mastery for 8 seconds on a shorter cooldown so you have it more often. You use this ability mostly for the free casting, not so much for the damage reduction. Glyph of Siphoned Life is really great because Corruption is one of your main 3 dots and it gives a healing mechanic to it, so it heals you every time it does dot damage. It's possible that you can replace this glyph with the Glyph of Demonic Circle because it reduces the cooldown on your Demonic Circle port by 4 seconds, and every time you do it, if you have your 4 set, you get 1300 versatility for 10 seconds. Now, if you don't run with the 4 set, like some locks don't, you probably want to stick to the Glyph of Siphoned Life. Alright, thanks for watching guys. I hope this helped you out, understand some of the basics of Affliction Warlocks and Warlords of Draenor. Leave a comment below, subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. This is Indy.
That's when you know it's for real. Old life blown away in the blink of an eye. Nothing left but all the time in the world.
No, I ain't going out like that, and I ain't going out like that. No, I ain't going out like that without making, and I ain't going